this song every day going to school, and you sent a really cute video to Mike, and Mike's been really busy. But he's here to say, ooh la la ah wee wee, ooh la la ah wee wee. Love you, Olive. And this is her dance that she did. I'm gonna do that tonight. Just say,
I know that you had no connection with it. But nevertheless, I have to ask you, who were his friends and where are they?
There's something wrong. Why would they leave you alone like this? Unless it's a trap. And they intend to follow you from here.
Tell you what, you better come with me.
All right. Reporting live from my sister's bedroom at my parents' house in Denver, Colorado.
Damn, son, you're tuned in to the Therapyard Podcast.
Good evening, ladies and germs. Welcome to another episode of the Rap Yard Podcast. Tonight we have a special guest coming in shortly. PENGAME Classic will be here talking about his new album and his activism and other things, whatever he wants to talk about, because that's how we roll. Let me remind everybody, as I try to do from time to time, that Rap Yard Podcast is brought to you by Pull Up City Magazine, your source for all things Orlando music, art, culture, and grubbery. Find them on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, excuse me, and all the other places that are social media. And check out our merch. Go to a link in our bio. We got some cool shirts like this one, and we have a what is it? Swish House logo Rap Yard Podcast style shirt as well. Very dope. As always, no ice. That's how I like my wine. That's how I like my government. Not that anyone asked, but that's how I like it. And we're brought to you by For Everyone Collective. Go to foreveryonecollective.com, get your cool shirts, mugs, hats, merch, sweatshirts, hoodies, etc. And they, besides having all those cool items that I mentioned, they are staffed by people that have been in the prison system and have a hard time finding a job otherwise. So please go support them. foreveryone.collective.com. And Freestyle 101 Hip Hop History, the documentary by Frank Meyer, which includes freestyles from legends such as Ari the Rugged Man, Be Real, Ice-T, Open Mike Eagle, Micah 9, Sean Price, Pete Rock, MOP, The Game, Gangstars, others, on and on, Rascast, some of who have been on the show, yes, and narrated by Chuck D. So that is available on all streaming platforms, wherever dope documentaries are streamed. Check it out. And here I am. What's up, everybody? Shout out to everybody watching and people that have been watching consistently. I appreciate you. If you could do me a favor and share the live on whatever platforms you peruse. It doesn't cost you any money, and sharing it really helps out. So I appreciate it if you could do that, please. Thank you. What else? What's been going on lately in the hip hop world? Not a lot that I really want to talk about. I mean, Gucci Man, all that. Let me think. Yeah, nothing I really want to talk about per se. Let's check in with our guest and see if he's. Let's see. when you are. And I can always play one of his songs while we wait. Because I've been looking forward to this interview. Let's see. PENGAME Classic. As the name implies, he's got a classic pen game. Here we go. Let me get this up here while we wait. Ta-da. All right.
Power is corruptible, melted down in the crucible. Your ego is susceptible, highly doubt is respectable. Barely let him out the cage, aroma built the house with sage. Life's like reading the book, go ahead and turn the page. You don't understand, you illiterate, oblivious. Hard to give me shit cause I'm numb to all your sentiments. Precisely, I measure my increments from dose to dose, coast to coast. Acknowledge my rap, these niggas oughta know. I finish tracks like a fervor, running routes like a Uber. The need for speed, I maneuver like a Range Rover. Rhythm is exotically, lung clutching, exotic weed, bobbing weed, cough up a lung, we make it hard to breathe. Timberlands go right in the closet the way we stashing trees. Scattered leaves covered the yard, sticks are underneath.
Dope, right? Please welcome PENGAME Classic to the show. Welcome, welcome.
There we go.
How are you doing?
Hi, how's everybody doing out there? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So that was a snippet of your new album, off your new album, I should say. One of one. And that was Acknowledge My Rep.
Yeah.
So this is your logo, right? The little question mark.
Yeah, category other. Yep.
Yeah.
C?O.
So explain for people that don't know what category other is and how that ties into your music, if you would.
Okay, that's a good one. It basically ties into just being other. Like when people look at applications and stuff, and it says on the application, you know, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, and you see other. That's that's a good analogy to describe it, because when it comes to the type of music and stuff that I make, and because of the background, the life that I've lived, I've seen a lot of things, been around the world. My insight is really different than a lot of people, because they haven't had the lifestyle that I have. They haven't been and seen some of the things that I've been around. So I bring a kind of a different, unique take to the entertainment world, or to whatever, just anything. I have a different view or different light. So that category other ties into that, and that's how I kind of branded it around being unique, being different, and just being free. You know, freedom of expression, freedom of creativity, and it lies and it challenges that. So that's what that brand, that's what that represents.
I gotcha. And you grew up in, like, you would be in Germany sometimes and sometimes in the US, isn't that right? Like,
Yeah.
you weren't having, I guess, the classic all-American childhood or whatever, you know, but your experiences, you know, in different countries, how did that shape you as a kid?
Oh, tremendously, because when you're looking at, especially dealing with a lot of different diverse communities, and you know, being in a place where it's not all your people there, people speaking different languages, it's their culture, it's their world, so to say, and you're just visiting, you're just, you know, living in it at the moment. So, you know, just very humbling at a young age, seeing things that, you know, transpired, but also seeing good in people, you know, and not being able to really understand them speak, but you knew people were good hearted. And it just helped mold me as a man, and to just understand, to appeal and market and push myself in a bigger stratosphere with you know, having that outlet or that outlook as a kid. It made it easier for me to put my music down like that, to appeal to different, because I was able to see different and able to relate to them on many levels.
That's interesting. So, I'm trying to think of how I can ask this in a graceful way, being that I'm white. Um, is there did you encounter a lot of racism basically in other countries? I don't know if you were in other countries besides just Germany and the U.S., but
Oh yeah, I've
was there
definitely been in other countries. Yeah.
okay? But do you experience it differently, or is there more or less depending on where you go, or what's that like? Just for people that
I've never experienced it.
you've never experienced
Never
racism.
experienced it. I've been to Africa, I've been to Turkey, Germany, France. UK. I haven't experienced it. Of course, doesn't mean that it's not there, but
Right.
I haven't experienced it. In Germany. There is a time where, me and my mother were in a difficult situation involving a group of skinheads and
Oh,
stuff that
jeez.
were a bus stop ahead of us, and some Germans ran across the street that was going a whole different direction, a whole different bus route. They come over, grab, my mother and me, and they're, saying Kinder, Kinder, Kinder for child in German. And they pull us over to the opposite bus going the opposite way, and they're talking to the bus driver. And they're fully aware, fully conscious that that's not a good look for this young black child with this mother. The next stop up has at least 20 to 30, men skinhead up,
Mhm.
and that goes to show the awareness of the people, to
Oh, I
see
see. So
something like
okay,
that. And
okay,
yeah, so we didn't experience like hate, like right there in our face, but that was a situation that could have gone bad really quickly, because what was happening in Berlin at the time was our school had got hit with a terrorist attack,
okay.
and they destroyed our school. So we were out of school for 6 months.
Jeez.
A lot of kids went back to the States.
Mhm.
Parents took them back to the US to just visit family.
So
We
there were a lot
left,
of
went.
expats there.
Huh,
There
what's
was a lot
that?
of expat Americans there at the school, is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay.
Yep, a lot of, because you got the soldiers were fighting Desert Storm at the time.
Oh, okay,
So a
okay.
lot of our fathers were stationed there, and they were shipped, going over to help Kuwait with Iraq at the time. So,
I
we were still behind in Berlin at our duty station, going to school, waiting for our fathers to return. And
mm,
that was the type. Berlin is one of the major areas there.
yeah,
So that was a terrorist attack, and they didn't put us back in school because they were afraid that they would attack again. Attack, if they just put us back in school, they would probably attack it again.
wow.
So we had to leave in those recruitment vans that you see the soldiers in today when they're getting recruited, those long white vans.
Mhm,
We had to take those vans with armed soldiers
mhm.
and a driver to go get to the commissary, to the PX. During this time frame, we weren't, I mean, you could go out on your own, they were not going to stop you, but they offered that at least for
Yeah,
people to go safely. My father lived off post. He liked the German apartments. It was a real nice apartment. You could pull in upstairs and park and unlock your door upstairs. Like
okay.
we talking the late '80s, right before the early '90s. Like
Oh,
it
like
was.
remotely?
I see why he liked it and why he wanted to move out there, but he didn't think, hey, my child. That he wasn't thinking like that,
Yeah,
because you want that he was gone. He's not there,
yeah,
and we were in we could be in danger easier because we weren't protected on post. Most families lived on post, so you had the
yeah.
protection. We were not on post, so we didn't have the protection, and I had to go out and mingle around the Germans. Every time I step outside, I'm
Wow.
right. I'm in. They call it, the economy. That's what they
Mm,
is on post in the economy, and
mm,
we lived on the economy, so I was immersed in it, and I was careful, but I didn't experience any hate at all. People were pretty cool, actually.
okay. And are you saying in your whole life you never experienced racism?
Yeah, I definitely experienced it, but
Okay.
racism comes in different shades. Most of it's in the States, and it
I
comes in
was
different
like,
shades. And
how is that
it's
possible?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not necessarily like confrontational. It's more
Yeah.
like situational and positioning, and on the team or position on the job or whatever, just stuff like that people experience, going through where something just doesn't seem quite right and you're qualified, you're doing everything correctly and you're doing
Mhm.
things like that have popped up throughout life, but it never held me back. I just realized what it is, having the diverse background that I had, and it never really, I never really pondered on that stuff because I see above it.
So you think the States is worse compared to the
Yeah,
other?
every let me just put it to you like this. Let me speak for everyone overseas. Everyone thinks the States is worse. Everyone does. I've sat in airports, had conversations with women that were, older ladies because they see me with my kids. One lady from Sweden or Scandinavian, whatever. We're talking. She's thinking I'm from London, UK.
Mm.
I say I'm from America, and she's like, "You're from America?" I'm thinking like, yeah, you can't envision someone like me being able to diverse with you like this and converse and have a conversation, be, diversified. But I'm
Mm.
like, yeah, we're out there too. We live out there too. There's a lot of us out there like me. Y'all
Mm.
know what representation that our media is giving them, because they only got, now the media is so great, or the internet so great that you're able to get things that you normally wouldn't get
Right.
from everyday news.
Right.
So, notice I said she was older in age.
Yeah.
The
Right.
younger kids out there, they're more in flow. The younger kids and younger adults in these other countries, they're lockstep kind of with what's going on over here.
Yeah. Which makes sense. They're more apt to use social media, and I think that's one of the good things about social media is that it can kind of cut through the BS of, I guess, corporate media. You know,
hmm
and like this is what
Agenda, and how they want to drive the narrative, and who's ever paying paying the pockets, and we
exactly.
get into all type of stuff over here.
Yeah. So is that kind of go in hand with the theme that you were talking about with category other entertainment,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just not fitting the mold like you were saying, but also um, being a media presence that isn't that's the other,
yeah.
and what you
Having
want.
that other view, that other perspective, that that type of, and you kind of be careful with it, with what's going on in the world today. But when I've had my knowledge journey and growing as a person on the spiritual level, there's you take in so much knowledge and so much truth. There's not very much you have to say to
Hmm.
really get your point across anymore. You
Okay.
you you leave a couple of words here and there. People get the point.
Hmm.
That people out there investigating and digging and learning and coming across, they get the point.
That's
You
that's
don't
in-
got to get yourself on a kill list. You can say things without saying too much nowadays, because
okay.
it's like this: either you know or you don't know. With the
Right.
people in America, that's the new climate I'm sensing here.
Hmm.
Overseas, they've already known.
Mm.
Here, it's either you don't know or you do know. And if you don't know, then I don't even want to have a conversation with you anyway about that type of stuff.
Right. I've seen videos on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, of somebody saying something like, let me think, like, did anyone do it yet? You know what I'm talking about, and everybody knows what they're talking about, kind of thing. Is
Yeah.
that if that makes sense? Or
hmm
like, is he okay? Stuff like that, and
Yep.
it's like implied, but everybody understands. It's crazy. So,
And that's the world we live in
yeah,
today.
yeah. So, and interesting that you were in Germany, and because a lot of people are comparing what's going on right now, as they do with what happened in Germany so many years ago in World War II. I'm also being careful with my words. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, we will be.
yeah. So, what do you think is like? I mean, I know people that have gone. I've never been there, but there's I think like a law against flying that kind of flag. There's
hmm
they had to pay reparations. There was education about it consistently to today. So, I mean, do you think that's the biggest difference,
Yeah,
or
by
yeah,
far.
yeah,
Yeah, you touched a real good topic. You
mm,
picked a real good one to hit, because I don't I don't want to put it in a
Reparation.
religious box,
Mhm.
but these other, especially the other countries that I've been to,
Mhm.
you know, the North Africa, and people could look up what they worship there. I mean, well, North Africa was cool. That's where my wife is from. She's from Tunisia.
Oh, okay.
That's very diverse.
Mhm.
You have they're very good there. They have everything. You
Mhm.
can, if you worship everything there, you're welcome. But
Mm.
in some of these other places, that is a conflicting thing.
Right.
Our lifestyle over here does not translate to that lifestyle over there.
Right.
No. So that is something that they will definitely stick their chest out or prove, show you, hey, this is what we believe. You can do that over there or whatever, but this is how we believe.
Right.
That when it comes to stuff like that, you're not budging them on. So
Mhm.
that is a very good question. I've never even thought about that. That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
Thanks. I mean, so what's the answer? I mean,
Oh, just that they would be opposed to it. They'll oppose you at every stop. They'll fight for that. There'll be protests, there will be violence, there will be people, out, picketing and protesting, in masses, for that type of lifestyle to be integrated into, theirs. And you see that all the time. But
Mhm.
as marketing and money comes and change, that's why they try to do these, when they do these regime changes.
Mhm.
That has a lot to do with some of it.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
has a lot to do, because that regime, I'm not trying to pencil in people that these regimes are negative or doing the wrong things. They're
Right.
just
'Cause they're
talking in the
citizens.
context of the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the context of the question was, if that lifestyle that would has a flag that has been, she was referring to in Germany, might have been banned or whatever. You start spreading that around in some places that it's going to be an issue, even if they have to reform to it at some point from an economical standpoint, because that's just the realism of it all at the end of the day. So, but they're going to fight you to fight you tooth and comb to the end.
Yeah.
But the money always wins at the end of the day, people.
Mm. Yeah. I was really thinking about like the Confederate flag, you know.
Hmm.
Okay, you got that. Okay.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
they're not really on that, but like I
no.
said, with this crazy world we live in, you just never know, man. People, you get enough money. That's what I mean. You get enough money with stuff nowadays. Who knows? But
Yeah.
they're not gonna ride with that, because for one, let's just keep it like this. Basic rule: if we're talking about an Islamic country, Islam is peace. That's what
Mhm.
it means. So
Right.
why would we be indulging hate
Right.
if they go by their word, their doctrine? That's opposing to what those people believe in. They
Right.
don't believe in hate. So that would be opposed to their actual spiritual beliefs, or their religious beliefs. That's why I
Exactly.
said they're going to fight you for that. Because that's what they go off of.
Yeah, that's their principles in life.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that kind of blows my mind that people don't realize, that they think about these countries like Iran, for example, and Iran is not some, like, everybody's poor and it's a desert. No, no, no. They have like mountains and ski resorts there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like they have a whole, like, the beach, the mountains, the forests and everything, and it's a huge country,
Yeah.
with a lot of different, income levels, and people are, it's bustling cities and everything. Um, as that's just like the dumbing down of America, I guess. That's the only thing I can speak on, that, just to make people look like the bad guy, you
Yeah.
know?
Very
But
modern over there. Clean bathrooms. Goodness gracious. Clean bathrooms, y'all. I had posted a video on one of my social medias out there of the bathroom.
it was
I
that
gotta find
remarkable?
that post, and I'm like, y'all, look at these
Oh, I can look
bathrooms. I
for it.
said the restroom had looked like a closet.
Oh, wow.
Talk about total privacy. You open the door, it looks like you're opening the closet door, and you open it, and it's a toilet. And they got them all like that. And you cannot touch, or you can't look underneath and see the other person's leg. There's a wall in the way.
That's
It's
something I've
like
heard. Yeah.
it's like you're literally going into a closet to use the bathroom. Nobody can see you. You can't look underneath and see someone. You can't. and totally clean. And you know,
Yeah.
and our country is way richer than this country.
Exactly.
Way we are killing these countries as far as what we could do. But look how they, you know, cleanliness. The little things do matter, and that's in every phase of life.
Mhm, mhm.
Relationships, the little things do matter. And I've seen it when I go out there and we're eating and stuff, and the little things matter, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Did you post this on your Instagram?
Yeah, I put in a story though, so it's not like
Oh, it's
say,
not
I
there
mean it's
anymore. Okay.
archived probably, but it's not on
It's not that big of a deal, but yeah,
yeah.
that's one thing I hear people say that when they come here from other countries is like, "What is up with your bathrooms? Your public bathrooms are
Hmm.
crazy." Like, I feel like I'm
Yeah,
out
that's
in
the
the
main
open.
thing they
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
And you
and
know,
that's
they got the little hose that you can use. You can use the little hose, the commode or whatever they call it. They got those over there too.
oh,
So you
yeah.
got the toilet paper, and then you got that. So they make sure you're clean over there.
Right, right, right. Yeah, and healthcare and all that stuff too. It's
Free,
wild.
yeah, for most of them. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
big difference. Big difference.
Mm.
Healthier lifestyle too. Beaches or ski, like you said, ski resorts, whatever. People are relaxing, they're chilling, they're you know, enjoying their environments. They're
Yeah,
going
they're not
out, they're
working 6, 7 jobs or whatever, crazy,
yeah.
destroying themselves health-wise. Yeah, that's a shame. So I know you do some activism as well. I saw that you did, or do some stuff with, like, youth basketball, is that right?
Yeah, I've definitely done it from time to time. I've even coached a little bit of AAU in Houston, and I did a charity event in a place where, you know, my dad used to be stationed at out there in Kansas, Fort Raleigh. There's
Okay.
a town out there, Manhattan, Kansas, where Kansas State University is at, where I got up my, you know, I used to play a lot of basketball out there and went to college out there as well too. So
Mhm.
I went out there during COVID-19, did a charity event so, you know, kids can get out of the house. And I was in a situation where I could get back, and I also use that opportunity to network with some of the businesses that sponsored and stuff. That American Way is what we called it. We had an event that night too, and that went really well with a guy I went to high school with. He
Oh,
ends up owning the club, and you know, that's, hey, people, you never know. Some of the people, young kids, you never know who
mhm.
you're going to school with, man. Be nice, be kind and nice to people. Seriously. You
Right.
never know, the kids you know see people picking on in class might be able to help you out one day. Cause you know, this kid's a year under me. You know, now that man gives us an opportunity to go in here and do this show. Every artist left with over 1,000 in their pocket. He was loving it
Nice.
because we had a big turnout. Because you know, I was an athlete there,
Oh,
so
okay.
I was popular for sports
Yeah.
there. And then some of them knew music, some of them didn't, but they came out because it was me. And then a
Okay.
couple of the other guys went to school there too, so they came out really for us. And we all were locked up in the house, so it was just a way for people to get out.
Right.
Couldn't have over 500 people in there, but that place had at least close to that at different times if you add up the different amount of people that came. So they really showed out. They came through for us during COVID. So definitely want to give them props because, like I said, being an independent artist, everybody left out of there with money that night. We got the
And
door, he
that's
got the
impressive.
bar. We
Yeah.
put up the money for the venue. Mind you, we put up the money for, you know, renting the stuff at the charity event.
Mhm.
We you know, end up, everybody gets a profit, leaves home with, you know, money. And that's how you do it as an independent artist. Like, that's how you do it, that's what you do. And that was a good experience to go through that, because that's also been adapted into my blueprint on moving forward with how I like to do shows and stuff.
Yeah, it's as someone that has done a grand total of 2 showcases,
Yeah.
I'll tell everybody this, it is very rare that the artist leaves with money in their pocket.
Yes, thank you for saying that. And think about
Very
it, we
rare.
have four. We have, for during COVID-19, we have four artists left out of there with over $1,000 in their pocket.
That's amazing,
That
especially
that's
during
pretty
COVID.
good. That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
I might have to get some notes from you or something.
Yeah, I just
Right.
think it's the reputation that was built up on
Mhm.
reputation. Like, man, if I'm smart, I would hit that place up every year. You know,
Yeah.
get some artists, seriously, get some other artists to come through. They're gonna come out because I grew up with these people. They've seen my story, they know. And then that just kind of helped even more because a lot of them hadn't seen me recently. Or,
Yeah, yeah.
because I've been and they only knew me for sports. So that gave a lot of them that knew me from sports to see, oh, okay, he's into this music thing. Oh, they're pretty dope. And then the next weekend after that,
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to Brooklyn, East New York, with Cool Rock Ski from the Fat Boys because he was doing a tribute concert for Prince Marky D, Buff Love, and Ecstasy from Houdini to celebrate their lives. And he wants to start, something to give back to the community there. So at Gresham Park, where they went to school at, their old middle school or grade school, whatever it is, we had it there, and he got a lot of people to come out and hold it down. That mayor, before he was the mayor of New York, he was out there. I remember seeing him.
Oh,
Keys
so
were
Ronnie.
given out.
Yeah.
Appreciation stuff was given out. Met some real dope people. What's his name from Good Times? Mike Carter.
Oh,
It was
cool.
pretty dope. Little Mama came out there too. And speaking of that, Dana White sponsored it. Dana White's the one who gave, put the financial support. Huge Fat Boys fan. Helped our brother Cool Rock Ski out on that event, Bob. So shout out to Dana White for putting down the money so we could perform and could put on a show. And
That's
I
the
could
only
add
name
that
you
to
said
my
that could-
resume. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty dope of Dana White to do that for
I'm
my
saying
brother
that's
Cool Rock.
Who's Dana White?
The for UFC.
Okay,
Bald
that's why I
head
didn't know.
white guy from UFC. That
That's
all
why I that's all
like
the
a
names you named. I was
CEO
like,
or whatever.
okay, because I don't know wrestling. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's that. That's not wrestling. That's that
Fighting.
ultimate fighting.
I don't know
They
either.
they really hurting. They really hurting
Yeah,
people in that.
It's not
That's
wrestling
worse than
football.
boxing.
Yeah. My bad.
No,
I'm-
you're good. But yeah, that's you fighting in that. You're
getting hurt.
a true fighter if you fighting in
Right.
that.
Right. It's not some Hulk Hogan stuff. So on the music note, and you said that was in Kansas where you went to high school?
Yeah, that was it was in Manhattan, Kansas, where Kansas State University is at.
Okay. What sports did you play?
Basketball, football, and those are the two that I took. I played others, but those are the two that I took into college through there was basketball and football.
And where'd you go to college?
I went to ICC. A lot of people know that from Last Chance U. Coach Brown, the white guy from Compton that be cussing all the time and act like he's like they used to say to Jason Williams back in the day, white chocolate. The basketball player, Jason Williams, used to call him white chocolate. Coach Brown got that type of vibe. And he coached there after us, but he was on that Netflix documentary. That was the school that I went to.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was on a Netflix documentary too. I show my kids that all the time. Like, yo, that's the dorms that we were at. That's this. I used to live over there. We had a little house. Like, so it was good for me to show my kids that and let them see because they haven't been there with me back to Kansas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how many kids you got?
2. I got a 9-year-old daughter, 2-year-old son.
Okay. Yeah, it's best to show them now. Take my word for it, rather than when they're teenagers, because they won't care when they're teenagers.
They don't give it. They don't care. Yeah, you're right.
So, this freestyle, I want to play a snippet of. That's cool with you.
Yeah, I don't care.
All right, let's get into it.
Oh. So beautiful. Yeah, category other, man. Michigan in the building, go blue. 25-8. Nostalgia before classic out right now. Yeah. Another long face, a partner about to catch a case. Greasier than cheesesteaks when he's trying to crack a safe. The mentality's far too gone when you try to stay headstrong. Evilness carries on. Thought process playing chess, never digress. When you face with stress, the changing factor is your circumstance. Don't be like Parkinson, shaking when it builds suspense. OCD, still crying over spilled milk. Fine fabric like stitch silk. Spit landfill filled with a milk up in the Dell. With founder wealth, greatness of vagina felt, cooked it like a patty melt, poking in the hole, another notch in a designer's belt, a tsunami in that kitty like China felt. Don't believe when I move at a different speed, it's hard to sleep
sleep like a kid on Christmas Eve. It's hard to fathom what's real and what's make-believe. Got one life to live, you should live it free. I'd rather face you, it's hard enough to beat myself. Standing on my own 2 feet, ain't had no help. When it comes to rap, I'm a miracle birth. I was physically and mentally put on this earth. Real majestic with rhymes like their coke lines. Cause by the landmine on every song of mine, it's treacherous. You're better off removing all your necklaces. Cause we do negligence providing you with 7 cents. That spot's mine cause it's fitted for my measurements. Time to see the world is mine up on the nearest glint. I'm like Socrates, pimping for knowledge in exchange for dollars. Sitting at the round table filled with scholars. It's time to let the dogs off the collars. Feeling drunk for hours, you ain't had a cup in 80 hours. Shout out to my New York nigga, calling $80 faster than the New York minute. They disgrace you, cause all over the globe I'm here to replace you with tutelage from Hove, not the rapper but the real thing. About to stay up in my lane like a steel frame. I'm like a lightning bolt coming from the cosmos. Something way out of here, you travel for 100 years. I'll be moving my mic to another gear, year after year, and it's finally coming clear. The hottest new thing since you copped the last pair. Preparing our air with majesty flares, with ravishing, over dazzling, still challenging. I'm so well rooted with words, that's establishing. Stop playing, man. Nostalgia for fall classic out now, man. 25.
So your name is PENGAME Classic, and I take that to mean that you write most of your lyrics down.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Do you ever do like off the dome stuff when you're recording, or
yeah. Because really, I'm glad you brought that up because, and this is through Big Daddy Kane. A freestyle is a written composition performed. A off the top of the dome is what most people interpret as a freestyle. But
right,
KRS-One will tell you guys, and so will Big Daddy Kane. Off the top of the dome is off the top. Just
right,
yo, one,
whatever
two,
comes to mind.
three. You going off the top. There's no script. A freestyle is actually a written composition that is spitting. So for people out there that need to know the terminology, the definition, that's a freestyle. So that's why it's named the freestyle. Off the top of the dome should be off the top of the dome only, where you're designed to mess up. You're supposed to just keep going till you mess up.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was how it was back in the day. And the most skilled ones didn't mess up.
yeah. They'd be going on and
Yeah,
on.
on and on and on and on. You're supposed to go until it was a game. You're supposed to keep going until you messed up. So if you were really good, you were
Yeah,
still going and going and going, and that's how people will be like, "Yo, that guy's nice." That's how you got the reputation around for
right.
being good. Being good at it.
Yeah, I mean, there is, I guess, still some debate about what a true freestyle is, but that's, I think, how most people accept it nowadays is a
Yeah, it's off
freestyle.
the dome. To me, like you said, it's off
No,
the
no, I
dome is the
like
freestyle. Yeah,
most people think
yeah.
what you said. That
Uh huh.
it's written down.
Nope, off the top of the head. No, if you writing it down, that's not
That's
it's
not a
not the
freestyle.
structural definition, but it's not the one that everyone thinks either.
Okay,
Off the
okay,
top. Yeah, that's off the top. You got to spit it with no recollection of what you're saying. That is true freestyle to how it's interpreted to now.
okay. So that right there, did you write that down or did you
Yeah,
memorize it?
that was written. Yeah, that was written. I've done a lot
Okay.
of freestyling though. I've had freestyles on radio stations before where it was just off the top of the dome, and it
Yeah.
don't sound like that. It don't sound like that with the word play and the words that being used. You hear a
Yeah.
flow and it keep going, but sometimes thinking of that stuff on the top of the head can be challenging if you're trying to rhyme something, something
Oh,
together
yeah.
where you got time to write, you got time to think it out a little bit
Go
more and
back
place
and erase.
things
Yeah.
differently and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, because that was phenomenal in my opinion.
thank you.
Yeah, sure. How did you come up with your name? That's just,
Said it in a rhyme one day.
that's what I was
As far yeah, Pen Game Cloud said my Pen Games Classic, and I forget the rest of the bars, but I
thinking.
think it's on my Black Side album, which is one of the few albums that I have actually on streaming still. Because I
Okay.
notice when people do these flyers and stuff, I feel bad because they don't have access to my newer music. They have the older music to choose from, but it makes me like, oh, that still jams today. So I said it in a song because I
Uh-huh.
always went by Classic. But
Mm.
when I said that my Pen Games Classic, it helped me switch over because now I'm getting into the streaming and that name was too broad.
Oh,
too many
classic. Yeah,
classics,
yeah,
and
yeah.
their stuff was getting put in my catalog. And I
Oh,
got tired of telling Apple, take this out of my catalog. This is not my music. So
yeah.
I just like we're gonna change the name Pen Game Classic so I don't have to worry about that. And that's when I went with that name.
Mm. It's interesting to me how they can like use the algorithm or AI or bots or whatever to determine if something needs to be have like a copyright flag, but they can't determine if you have the same name as another artist or if another artist takes that name.
Yeah,
Basically,
it's
they can't
weird.
differentiate. Yeah, I mean, anyway. Is there an example of like an off the dome freestyle on YouTube that you can think of that you've done?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
not. And if it is, uh it's not public.
Okay,
I would
right.
have to search through and look through the archive and stuff like that. Then I got
Yeah.
to be sensitive to today. Some of that stuff was 2006 and stuff, and some of the words in there,
Different time.
that's mainly the reason why it's not up
I
because
see. I got you.
words were said in hip hop back then
Mhm.
and that's not acceptable today. That would actually be like saying slurs, if you know what I mean,
Right.
to a
I
certain
do.
demographic of people, just because people were trying to use that to talk about another rapper or another man, saying, oh, whatever. That's not
Yeah.
acceptable verbiage today. And,
Right.
yeah, so that's why that stuff's not up there or whatnot. But it definitely is a few. I could send them to you on another, on a sidebar note, but I wouldn't post that up here.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, you can send them
hmm
to me. That'd be interesting. But I won't publish them. So your YouTube is Real Rap Family, is that right? Or is that
No, that's mine is actually first class Dawn is the link. Like it'd be
okay?
youtube.com 1st
Okay.
class Dawn. And I got some real dope videos on there because a lot of them were shot in Tunisia in North Africa. So it's some dope, like the more modern ones on there.
Okay.
And my newer ones from this album, I'm just trying to figure out to the whole put the videos up and get paid like the streams because the music videos and stuff have to be tailored just like the songs. And there's a lot of things they're not teaching artists or telling artists. I've been doing interviews all month, and I've been telling people that if you don't have your metadata like your name, ISRC codes, all
Mhm.
that stuff, birth date of the song, everything, mood, genre, you can put that on the file. You can put
Mhm.
all that data on the file, and it's a software that you need to do it. And then you upload it because what happens if you just load the form, meaning
Mhm.
the information that the DSP gives you with the ISRC or whatever, that's not on your file. That's
Right.
just in the form. So if that track's ever downloadable,
Mhm.
what's to stop someone from taking it and putting the ISRC and the MLC, the other numbers, what's
Mhm.
stopping them from putting that information on there? And now they're getting a cut out of your track. They make sure you're going to get a cut, but now they're getting those other royalties that you're just 3 or 4 different royalties attached to that song. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why people in the streaming world were so upset. Like, oh, I'm not getting paid much. Maybe they're missing out on different streams of income because and this is just example purposes, if they left their song out there, so to say, naked with no, with exposed,
Mhm.
then that is an advantage where if I'm somebody working in a DSP and I have privy to that information, that's something I could exploit on
Yeah.
artists that are submitting songs on my profile. And I'm one of these companies, I can exploit that to my advantage if I'm one of these predatorial companies.
Wow. Yeah, free game, everybody.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I don't have my new stuff out on there yet, people. It's because I need to figure out, I'm learning that because we're in a world where AI is here, so everything's changing as it learns and we're learning. So as a new artist or artist today, you have to learn with things. You got to
Mhm.
be ahead. You want to be
Yeah.
ahead of knowing of how the people are maneuvering and going to make money and utilizing that stuff and be ahead of the curve and try to learn this stuff because it's the business that you're in and it's what you want to do. So
Right.
you got to kind of take the notes and do the homework. And like someone that would be trading stocks, like that's like some insider stock information type stuff. If somebody was in stocks, that's
Yeah.
information that you might want to, you can make money off that type. Like I can sell that service to people and
Yeah.
upload the metadata on there for them if they don't know how to do it. That's something I could probably be not working and being at home doing with the amount of artists that are in the world that don't
Right.
know.
Facts.
So, and I on your platform, anybody hit me up if you need it, because I'm just learning this. I'm just starting to do it. So it's not something that I've had at my in my stable very long. And I realized that artists don't even know about this. So I
Right.
definitely want to get that out there for people to know that, hit me up on that. I'm willing to share, I'm willing to help, but you got to pay for my time.
There you go. And that's actually pretty noble of you, because a lot of people that may know about that or other things are just like, I'm not gonna. Nobody helped me out. Blah blah blah. At least you're
Yeah,
offering.
you're right.
You
You're
know,
right.
but shout out to C Dub in the comments from Detroit, D Town. What up? And yeah, so I found your YouTube. I was just thinking about that. There's so many artists out there too, and I think a lot of them maybe don't necessarily want it as bad as they think they do, because I hear a lot of people complaining all the time about,
Yeah.
oh, things are like they used to be, or they don't pay enough here. Like for me, it's like if you don't like it, either do something to change it, or adapt to it.
There you go.
Because if you're just as an older person, I sit around and hear people that are older like me complaining about, oh, the things used to be like this. And it's like, well, they're not anymore. Sorry.
No, you got to
Like, you
get
don't
with it
remember
or
your parents?
get with it or get out the way, man. This is my thing is, once people see that these files and stuff that's been exposed in the world, that lets you know that we've been playing with hands tied behind our backs anyway. So now that kind of justifies that, and it lets you know, like, yeah, this was unfair from the jump. So now you can readjust and move comfortably. All the emotion is now taken out of it. You've been bamboozled. You've been operating blind, not really knowing. Now that you know, you can approach, you can move. Probably that's that saying where they say, the wolf's outside. You're
Yeah.
gonna just walk out the door every day with the wolf outside. You're gonna find a different route, or you're gonna find a way to get rid of the wolf, or you leave the wolf something. Like you have to move. We're not in the time where sitting back and just taking it is
Yeah.
acceptable. Yeah.
Passive income is not passive anymore.
No, it's a necessity.
Yeah.
It's a necessity, man.
So what on here would be a good
I
example for
see
you?
you. Yeah, you got you got some good ones up there. The timing is right is a good one. That Castle theme intro. What else you got? You got the Castle song and the Coliseum is dope. And that one right there, can't see the name of it. Is that Different Alike? Different Alike, that's dope. That's out there in North Africa. So is Also True. Those are dope sceneries, dope tracks,
This is off your
real
new album.
dope.
All these are off your new album.
Let's see.
Where did you see that one with the Coliseum? You're talking about this
Right
one?
there. That's Casso. Yeah, Casso right there.
Oh no, that's
You
this
can
one.
play that for them. Let them see that Casso if you're going to play
Okay.
it so they can
I
get a
got
look
you.
at that dope scenery.
Is it in Tunisia?
Yeah, that's the first Coliseum ever built. That was built before the Roman Coliseum. It's called El Gene.
When I paint, it's like Picasso, and that's the theme, Blanco. Paint a picture, there's a picture, followed by the holy scripture. Where's the picture? He's the picture, followed by your life's description. You need direction, you caught up in all this misconception. Every day's depression with pressure, and that's a diamond lesson. Got no problems with bulls, but please don't test them. Splitting them in half like math, like taking parts profession. How I got here is none of your business. You don't ever do a thing, you a son of a business. I grew up around the ring, outflash lightning, my style's frightening. Now I'm about to go after money like I'm a streak of lightning. I got that bounce in my step, I think you should invest. If you don't, I'm taking it. Like pussy, I ain't chasing it. I ain't sliding in your DM unless you owe me money. If you thinking I'ma fall off now, shit's funny. Got that $1 million stroke with just a fling from my pen. When I paint, it's like Picasso, and that's the thing, Blanco. Got the heart of 10 lions on cage, and it's a problem. And 10 out of 10, no doctor could even solve it. Spoils to the victor, go turbulence to the Richter. I'm superfluous, naturalist like an herbalist. Certified, never heard of us, give us beats, we're murderers. They tried to change the game, we adapted and then evolved it. To do the unthinkable again, that's enormous. When I paint, it's like Picasso, and that's the theme, Blanco.
You said that's the oldest Coliseum in the world?
Yes, that's the first one ever built.
Wow.
Yeah, it was built before the Roman Coliseum. Yeah, about 45 minutes away from where my mother-in-law lives.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I go up there all the time.
really. I mean, how cool is that? I'm trying to get to
Yeah,
the point.
both of my kids have been there. And when you got the screensaver on your TV, we got pictures just pops up. And I love when the pictures of me and my kids out there in that Coliseum pop up on
There
the
we go.
TV. It's dope, man. It's real dope. You
Yeah.
can go, you see that little track in the middle
Yeah.
right there that you can go underneath. That's
Oh.
underneath, and you can see the lions' dens and stuff.
Oh
You can
wow.
go underground in those. So if you're underneath there, you can look up and see up there, but
Oh
that's
wow.
underneath. It's all hollowed out and tunnels and stuff underneath there. And I kind of
Cool.
took shots of that during the video and implemented
Yeah, I
them
saw
in
I
too.
saw that. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like you're
that's
in a cave or something.
underground.
Cool. I mean, do they know for a fact this is the oldest one and they haven't found one older,
Oh
I
yeah.
guess?
Yeah, that's public
Wow.
knowledge. Anybody can look that up. Like there's like signs and stuff over there, like in the corner where they have the history of it for visitors that are visiting out there. And I mean, you get all type of people. I always joke about it. I'm like, man, the Asians with the cameras, because when they're visiting, they looking like photographers, man. So
They have the best cameras though.
people
So
know it's not no secret. There's people
yeah.
all over the world that visit this place.
So I'm wondering how old it is. Like, do you know?
I mean, you
Or
can see the black, so it's carbon dated. That's carbon
yeah.
on there, and it
Oh.
has to, for people out there, it got to be a certain age for carbon to even show up.
Ah.
So that lets you know right there that structure is definitely. I have to
Oh.
look up exactly, but I know it's got to be over 2,000 years old. Definitely two,
Well, it
three
says it.
thousand years old.
Yeah, it says it's was built around 238 AD. Is it called El Gem?
Yeah, yeah, but they say El Gem, but it's El
Mhm.
Gem. It's Jem.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, they're saying it's 1780 years old.
Yeah, close to 2,000. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Carbon doesn't show up on. I learned that from being out there. It doesn't show up on structures until a certain time limit or something because the carbon is actually in the air and it just
Right.
keeps blowing over time, and it actually accumulates on the structure and
Mm,
you can start to see it be black.
I see. I didn't know how that worked. I just was like,
Hmm.
carbonating? Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's actually in the air. It's in the air, and over time, that's what the air pretty much paints
mm.
on the structure. It pretty much paints that black substance.
It says it held 35,000 spectators. Wow, that's huge.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
This is kind of off topic, but I think about like whenever they get lidar, where they can see through things, like see underground from like drones and stuff. Whenever they get that to where it's like perfected, what all is in the Amazon rainforest and stuff like that, or like the Congo,
Yeah,
just like being able to see through that. There's
remarkable.
gonna be a lot of stuff that we don't even know about because
Oh,
people can really go back there.
here's the thing that you said that's going to make it even clearer for our audience. This country that we're looking at here, you guys, World War II was ended in Tunisia with Hitler and them in their Great Retreat. So not only do you have that, and then other areas there, Elgin or not Elgin, but there's a one called Doga. I got pictures and stuff out there. Uh, you can see how they build when
Mm,
one comes over and invades. They build on top. They destroy everything and build on top. So
yeah.
when you talk about excavation, they said if they excavated the entire country, there would be nowhere for anyone to live at on top of it.
Oh
You
wow.
talking about all this prehistoric history. Then you're
Yeah.
talking about the World War II history. So they would be digging up the entire country and have underneath there with all the history that they got there, and it's a little country that barely anybody knows about, but so much has happened there
Mm-hmm.
over time. You talk about Hannibal of Carthage, who went and defeated the Roman Empire at the gate on elephants. It's
Mm,
from Carthage, like they like to say,
mm-hmm.
Carthage. That's right by Tunis, the capital where their biggest airport is at.
Yeah.
Anyone can go see Carthage from their city, Tunis.
Okay. I actually worked at Falafel King of all places with a guy from Tunis. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Oh,
was really
okay.
cool. Yeah, that was years ago,
Good
but
peeps.
yeah, for sure. Um, All right, I won't play and let people go watch that on their own and go stream it and everything else. But you haven't released your new album yet on like streaming services? Is that what you were
Not on
saying?
streaming services. It's well,
Yeah.
actually, that's false. It is on streaming services. It's just not on the ones that people are
The
accustomed to
major one.
now.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
on Bandcamp, and it's on SoundCloud. Now on SoundCloud, I have the potential to put it out where it could at least be on IG stories, things of that nature.
Uh-huh.
But when it's this early with my strategy and how I do it, which is tailored with the buyers and people that have supported over the time, I've been
Yeah.
able to ask them questions. And what I figure out is that a lot of people don't have these subscriptions. A
Mm.
lot of people don't have these Spotify's. They don't have the subscription. So what I was running into was, damn, I'm up here. I felt like a script. So every time I hear artists say, "Oh, I got a new project out," it's on all platforms. It just irks me because it's like most of you people can't afford a tank of gas right now, and I know for sure that extra 10.99 a month they're putting in other places. So I've tailored it around user friendly, consumer friendly. So on my site, I have my Bandcamp and everything there where they can go to the SoundCloud and stuff linked, but I also have a player where they can just play it from my site and listen to the entire album. And then I got the vinyls that they can purchase, the CD that they can purchase, the files that they can purchase. So I'm basically letting them know
Mhm.
this is my work. I believe in my work. So you can listen to the whole album right here. And if you like it, you want to
Right.
support, buy it. If you
Right.
don't,
Right. Right.
then you didn't spend any money. This was free.
Yep.
So, hey, you were able to listen to it and you didn't have to come off any money. You didn't have to get a subscription anywhere. There you go. So I tailored it around the consumer experience. That's why I put this one out strategically. And right now it's too early for the DSP. I've
I
just
got
released it. I still need to rack in money. The first I did a pre-order on this. So
you.
before
Mhm.
the release date even hit, I already have accumulated over, let's just say it would take me 9 months to stream, maybe if I got lucky to stream
Yeah,
that much that I made off the merch and the vinyls and the CDs. It would take me almost a year to accumulate that much money in streaming.
for sure. And I see a lot of artists now doing that. And I try to support. I mean, if there are artists that I mess with, I try to support them as much as I can. Like I will buy the vinyl. I will buy the. I don't have a CD player, but stuff like that. And
No, the vinyls
people
good.
are
If
more
you
like
buying
that.
vinyls, you know if you bought vinyls, they're not cheap.
No,
So
yeah.
no, I give you props because
Oh,
the vinyl that's enough. I mean, most vinyls, and I'm just talking about I have to price my stuff around their production and
right.
try to get a profit, and then I don't want my people having to go too crazy to spend it for. But that's
Mhm.
just a regular bottom line rate for a vinyl, 69 and up.
Oh my.
40 if you got a good hookup. So if a customer is buying a vinyl, you need to keep taking their email. You need to send them free product. Get that customer and get them underneath your wing if they're buying vinyls for y'all people. Because if anything ever happens with this grid, how you think people gonna be listening to music?
There you go.
Vinyl.
There you go.
Yep.
Facts. I'm also saving up so I can be a real DJ. So
Okay.
you know what I mean. That's a whole other conversation that we're not going to have. So this is your
Okay.
website. That um
Oh, at categoryother.com. I see you. Thank you for pulling that
yeah,
up.
that is the website you were talking about, right?
Yeah, that's it right there. And you just scroll down and it has, oh, you're in the bio section of the site.
Oh, okay. That
But
was what
but go down to the bottom where you just were at real quick.
at the home, right?
That's the link. So right there, that's that
Oh,
X,
okay.
that's Bandcamp, that's SoundCloud, Instagram, so people can access it from the bottom of the site. They can go straight to the Bandcamp and stuff there. So I don't
Let me
have to
go to
give
the main
people
page
3 or 4 different links. I could just give them this link. Go to
for
the
sure.
home page.
There we
There
are.
you go. You're on the home page. See, you
Yeah.
got you got the digital download copy, you got the CD, you got
Mhm.
the vinyl, people, and look right there, the play button.
Mhm.
All right there. Right there. Listen to the whole album,
For
for
free.
free. So
That
it's all right there. I'm consumer friendly. I want my
mhm.
customer and my listener to be able to experience what I'm putting out and enjoy it, and then have every option possible to support if that's what they want to do. They can
Mhm.
get clothes, they can get hats, they can get vinyl, CD, downloads. I got it all there. So any question that anyone would ask can be
Mhm.
answered.
Mhm. So it says right here, this physical edition captures the full sound and sorry, I got my fan blown and vision of the project, blending lyrical depth, modern soul, and golden era craftsmanship. So your name is Pengame Classic, and you're talking about golden era craftsmanship. Do you have a lot of fans that are like? I would think that there's a lot of people following you that are you know like classic artists. Like, do
Hmm.
you have people that are like big names in hip hop that follow you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And they're from that cloth, they're definitely
right.
from that cloth, from Lincoln
Like
with Cool
mid
Rock
90s
Ski.
era. Yeah, or before then, 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I love the Fat Boys, um,
Hmm.
growing up and all
Yeah,
that.
and that's that influence that you get. So you don't get that. Maybe you don't get that direction from me years ago. Because that's what I wanted. But to be able to put it together, have those talks with these
Yeah,
guys, and it was kind of a best of both worlds. We were able to kind of give the insight on the internet, whereas some of them didn't know that world, but they knew all the other tangible things and how the thought process it took and all that. So you merge that together, and now you're seeing that's a blending of both,
mhm,
understanding the internet, still keeping it real, still as far as to the art and to the listener and all the stories that they're telling, and still keeping that as a part of the game and how we still put out the music to this day. So it's no disconnect. It's all
right.
still flowing with the beginning to the now to past us. We got to keep those things, the key indicators, like businesses say, what are your key indicators?
Yeah,
That's hip hop should all they want to talk about the elements. Well, there was a listening intelligence with the listeners. The listener had an intelligence about the game that was
mm,
unparalleled to today. They
yeah,
knew the game. They knew, and I'm talking multiple races of people. There, that's why hip hop grew to the point that it grew, because it didn't have any race or boundary. So everybody, but you had to know. Basically, it was more knowledge driven. So the more knowledge you had about it, people welcomed you in with open arms. If you knew
right.
you could talk a little bit about it, people knew, oh, okay,
'Cause it
okay,
wasn't
yeah, this
easily
guy know what he
accessible.
talking about. Okay, bring
Right,
him in, yeah. So that's why it grew so quick, because people were loving it from all over the world, and they were able to directly come in you got a lot of people in the music industry that's retired, that's all type of different races all over the world that were inspired by this. When you see
mhm,
them talking and stuff today on social media, it's a wonderful experience to be a part of that and know people from that.
yeah, and just the people, like, with the young and old thing too, I think I saw a video of Karis well, I know I saw a video of Karis One talking about young people need to listen to old people need to listen to young people, basically, in a nutshell,
Yeah,
is what
because
he
you
said.
can be a
Yeah.
nice force together, because you're merging two different worlds and two different. That's major. That's why I love listening. You get two ears, one mouth.
Mhm.
So, and if you're younger, you definitely want to listen to the older people, especially if you got forces that be that are changing things constantly and removing stuff out of existence.
Right.
Your elders become essential to the development of the people in any culture.
Mhm. And vice versa, old people don't need to discount young people,
No, no,
because they're
because
young.
they're focusing on the new stuff that you're
Yeah,
not, because you're
right.
bogged down with work, or you've already got your degree. You don't, yeah,
Or
I
you
don't
just
need to
don't
go
like
do that.
change.
I'm good.
Yeah. Some people just don't like change too.
That's it. And you need the youth. You need them to come in and bless us with their young wisdom with some things, and you merge that together, and now you're cooking. And that's why I give my children that freedom. My daughter, she'll correct us in a minute if we're saying something incorrect and tell us the right thing. And I love that. I love that. And I even do that with my own children. So I'm definitely a testament to that.
That's cool. Well, so if everybody listening wants to get on a hold of the album, you go to categoryother.com, and I'll put that in the description of the video too. I didn't have that at the time, but
No, it's all good. Appreciate you.
yeah, yeah, I'll put it in there now. And you can get the vinyl CD, or you can just play it on the website. Or go
pretty
to Bandlab
much.
or SoundCloud. Yeah.
Yeah, Bandcamp or SoundCloud, whatever you choose. But when you go to SoundCloud, you don't even have to have a subscription. You don't even have to sign in. So it's pretty much like my site. You just hit play and play it. But the thing about SoundCloud, I don't know if artists know, if you get the Artist Pro package, you get paid per stream. Might not get paid as much as some of these other places, but you're going to get paid for streaming. If people go on there and
I have
listen
it.
to,
I
yeah,
have the
you get
cover.
paid. You
Yeah.
get paid on there. So don't be afraid to push SoundCloud, people. You just need to get an Artist Pro account and you need to monetize your songs. And then you can get paid just like Spotify, just like these other places. You can get paid from SoundCloud. I don't know why people are dogging SoundCloud. Like you can get paid on there too.
I
You can
think it's
get
because
paid.
there was like an era, the SoundCloud rapper, the cloud
Oh,
rapper.
SoundCloud rapper. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
They've
think people,
changed their
yeah,
approach.
yeah. You can actually distribute from SoundCloud onto
Yes,
like
you can. They
what
will
I
they
do.
will put your stuff on there, IG and Spotify and Apple. You can do it through them. You're
And
absolutely
it's not
right.
expensive. A lot of people use DistroKid. I think DistroKid has a lot of like hidden fees and stuff that people don't
Mm-hmm.
realize. So
Yep.
more free game.
There you go.
Well,
We're here to bless them.
there you go. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. It's been very informative and a delight, I must say. So
Thank you.
everybody go run that up and thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Rap Yard Podcast, y'all. Definitely support Rap Yard Podcast, what they're doing, even if it's not me. Support them, show love. The people that rock with me, rock with them, check what they got going on, and let's keep it moving and let's have our own ecosystem. These media platforms are just as important as some of these ones with these dollars behind them that were kind of in some of these things that we read. We'll leave that alone, but let's support these platforms as well, because this is the new world we're going in. So let's
Yeah.
support these people that are not compromised in what they're saying and what they're delivering, and these are the platforms that deserve the recognition and deserves the viewership, because you guys are going to get real spill from them, and they're going to give you sincere and definitely give you a good insight and informative. So definitely support Rap Yard Podcast, you guys, and
Bruh.
definitely like what they're doing over there.
Look, I was gonna ask you for a DJ drop. I don't even need one now.
Oh, well,
That
okay,
was
there you
amazing.
go.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah. All right, folks. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Pen Game Classic, and we're out.